Every win's huge, and winning a game on the road for the first time this year, big deal for us. Cal, defensively did a nice job, and I guess it should also say just beating Cal on the road has been tough over the years, for our program, and so proud of the guys, really proud. So many things, always, every week, but we can always clean up and be better at. I'm just ecstatic that we keep fighting. And, I think there's a belief now when we have these close games that we're going to find a way to win. Lost a couple one-score games early in the season, and now won a couple, closer games at the end. So proud, getting healthier. The bye week's going to be huge for us to be able to mentally, I think, as much as physically, just refresh. And, I'll tell them this too, the games in November, the ones you remember. And that's what we've set ourselves up for, is trying to make a big run and keep pushing. Playing in a bowl game, which we've now set ourselves up for as well. That helps our program, helps us get those extra practices for the young guys. Continue to get those reps and the excitement, and just the excitement for our guys to know that they're going to be playing another game beyond week 12. Questions?
Your thought process the last couple of drives, I think everybody was expecting you to just run the clock out, but you came out and threw it a couple of times.
Yeah, well, the one they got knocked down, it's a run pass option, and it's already got to the third option to where it's the throw, and it's a safe throw. We completed it. We probably complete that pass 90 to 95% of the time, and I don't think you can, with the way that they were moving the ball there in the second half a little bit, I don't think you can just sit on it. And we were trying to keep the clock running, and so a short throw, high percentage, or a handoff, is what we were looking at. And unfortunately, they got their hand on the ball and did a nice job playing it. It was something that we didn't do a lot of throughout the game, so thought we could get them. And then they, fortunately, they used their last time out, and that kind of changed the complexity because we were playing aggressive to go get a first down. And as you can see on the third down before it got called back, we had done that. So. We're going to play to win, and we're going to play smart. We're always going to play smart, but I think you still got to be aggressive. And I thought it was a pretty high percentage pass that we called, and unfortunately it didn't work out.
How badly did your defense need a half, like the first half, to get some confidence back up?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I felt like we started last week's first half pretty well. For the first 5 drives last week, they didn't score, and this week, coming out and playing solid football. So it's things you can build on. You try to find those highlights that we can build on that help us continue to gain more confidence and getting valuable reps. And every rep that we play together, and we're going to keep improving. We're not so far along right now as a team. I don't care if it's defense or offense, to where those reps, there's still things that we're improving, whether it's technique or trust, execution. It's all, it was good to see them, have a great first half like they did.
Is your secondary ever going to get a break with the health? Because you get Mish back, but then Cameron Fabit-Kilana was in street clothes, and it's like you can't seem to get all these guys healthy, and I've never seen a defensive secondary beaten up like this before.
Yeah. Well, and today I guess we're going to try to be positive on it, right? I mean, it's we had more guys that we played with at the beginning of the year than we've ever had, and what would be nice is to have just a little bit of a rotation, some depth to where, Cam, who's played a lot of snaps for us this year and can rotate in a couple different spots and help us in different packages to where he can be an asset to us. But, it was good to see. Mish had a great week, as far as his recovery throughout, and it was fun to see him out there playing, knocking the rust off a little bit. So, this bye week is huge for us, not just the DBs, but for our entire team.
You mentioned it, but getting to bowl eligibility, getting the first road win, what was the message to these guys after this one in the locker room, and what was that scene like from your vantage point?
A lot of that. I think there's it all is kind of worlds colliding here. Road, like you said, road win, first road win, a bowl eligible, going into the bye week. I think all those things. It was pretty exciting. After the game, just because they feel like, hey, okay, we're 6-2. I know that we always want to be better, but 6-2, and going into those final 4 games, I think we've said all along we think we can win every single game we play, but we also know that if we don't play up to our level, and you got to execute and don't do those things. You can be in a fighting match and lose them too. And so I love to see that we're finding ways to win, and we're believing now at the end of the game that we can be on the right end of it.
In the first half, you had 3 field goals attempts that you settled for, but in the second half, you were finding the end zone. Was that more on you guys, or was Cal doing anything different? What was the difference on those?
Well, I think we didn't execute on the first drive on a 3rd down and medium, I think, or second down. It was 2nd down, and I think we cleaned up the mistakes. The one drive where we missed the field goal, we got pushed back because of offensive pass interference. They called us for a pick, and so some of those things where we were shooting ourselves in the foot. And in the second half, we did a better job of executing and find a way to just keep plugging away and stack plays on top of each other.
This bowl opportunity, can you tell it means a little bit more to these guys, because the program hasn't had one in 3 years. The pandemic wiped one out. Last season's record wiped it out, and this program's always had a bowl game, and a lot of these guys haven't experienced that yet. Yeah,
I think they're excited because with what everyone's been through over the past few years, whether it be football related or COVID, it's good to know that you're going to be playing deep into December. So yeah, they're excited.
You said that games in November are the ones that you remember. Is it kind of exciting to think what might lie ahead? Maybe the bowl game, you can aim higher.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna. The sky's the limit. We still feel, got to catch some breaks along the way. But there's a belief that we take care of business. You might find yourself in a Pac-12 championship still. And I know that there's a lot that got to go our way. But it's the way that this team is right now. There's a lot of belief, and we keep fighting. And most importantly, we just need to keep getting better. And when you really try to narrow it down and don't get overwhelmed by the big picture, just keep getting better.
Can you talk a little bit about Richard Newton? He had a 36-yard touchdown pass where he's straight arming guys and breaking tackles, and looked like he hadn't been injured at all.
Yeah, that was fun to see. From where I was standing, it was so far across the field. I thought he was 5 yards out of bounds. That's what it looked like from where I was at. So it was cool just to see him, first of all, just snag that ball. Because we all know Mike isn't just throwing lobs out there for guys, and then break a couple tackles and find his way. Huge play for us. Just a lot of momentum and big time for us. And so it's always fun to see these guys that are just fighting through adversity. The injuries he's had, and he's a fighter, and it's fun to see him have that success in a different fashion than even probably what he expected.
Michael with a big game last week, and he was just on fire again today. Can you talk a little bit about Michael tonight?
Yep, just super consistent. We know what we get. Everyone knows what they get with him, and he can make all the throws, and again, taking care of the football. There really isn't a time where you feel like there's too big of a risk when he throws the ball, and he's executing the offense. In the big moments, he's on the sideline just processing everything, and confident that he can make the play. And he and Coach Grubb are doing a great job just being on the same page. And when we make the checks and we make the calls, he understands why that call is being made. And as well as the rest of the offense, and it's fun to see them, especially execute in the second half.
Your pass rush showed up today, and there's been games where it has and games where it hasn't as much. Why do you think those guys were effective, and how important was that down the stretch?
Probably a combination of when they were behind the chains. We had a good D&D. End the game when we could pin our ears back a little bit, and then I think there was some coverage. There were some times where they got away from us, but there was some good coverage down the field. And they couldn't just always throw a quick game, and whenever we can do that, I just feel like we're getting that push in the pocket. Not quite as mobile as a quarterback, so a guy that wants to sit in there and throw it. And I think that's, something where you kind of know those points you want to get to in the pass rush, and we got there.
How important was it for the defense as a unit to be able to get the stop to essentially win the game after previous weeks UCLA had ended with them on the field? How big was that in this game for the defense to ice it?
Yeah, I think between that and just the belief that we have now as a team, even after the first half, and just playing a really good solid first half, it all helps. The defense believing in the offense believing in the defense, and helps us really have hope for great things to come as we continue to clean up the details.
All right. All right. Thanks,
Awesome.
everybody.
Thank you, guys.
You guys.